Is the World Series Major League Baseball wanted for the first time since the early 1980s? Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Juan Soto. Yeah, you hear the sarcasm in my voice. Still brutal over my Cleveland Guardians losing to the New York Yankees in 5 games. In my mind, tonight we should be at game 7 of the ALCS, or at the very least, Cleveland Guardians should be in the World Series. They should be up 3-2. Just two heartbreaking back-to-back losses in Progressive Field after the extraordinary game that was Thursday night. This past Thursday, game 3 of the ALCS. And when I take a look at these two teams, obviously the Dodgers, you got Flaherty, who came over from Detroit at the deadline. We talk about Mookie and Ohtani and Muncy and Will Smith, and obviously their incredible bullpen. These are two Titans. I think obviously the difference between these two teams is the Dodgers can manufacture more runs than the Yankees. I mean, how many times in that ALCS did we see Guardians keeping it close with the Yankees, but they weren't able to score early? Yankees bullpen was good in the series. I don't think they were fantastic in the series, but the Yankees only scored via the long ball. On the other hand, we have not seen the drought from the Yankees offense that we have seen from the Dodgers. The Dodgers went to 6 games with the Mets, and their 4 wins, they blew the Mets out. In their 2 losses, they got blown out. For the Yankees, they go to extra innings in game 3 against Cleveland. They go to extra innings in game 5. If Rocchio doesn't commit that error, do we go to extra innings in game 4? So the Yankees have been in close games, and I think their rotation combined with their deep bullpen, because Aaron Boone did not have to use the closer, and Catchman and all the other guys that they have, Welky out there in that bullpen, did not have to use him the way the Dodgers had done multiple bullpen games in this postseason. So I think that's the biggest difference. This series will take place in LA. The Dodgers did take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in Yankee Stadium earlier this season. And as I talked about again, this is the complete opposite of Rangers Diamondbacks from a year ago, which historically was one of the more lower rated World Series. Rangers sort of came out of nowhere, lost 100 games earlier that year. Obviously, Arizona, the wild card team, coming from behind. This year, you have the two biggest brands. You have Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, Max Muncy, Giancarlo Stanton, Judge Ism, and obviously Mookie Betts, Will Smith, as I already mentioned. There's going to be a lot of fireworks in these series. The Dodgers, outside of that game 2 or game 5, I should say, victory over San Diego 2-0. Their games have mostly been hit-a-thons. And I think, again, it's going to come down to which bullpen, which starting pitching rotation can give these teams more length. And, will the Dodgers, to me, be able to match wits with the Bombers? The Bronx Bombers. We saw Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton, not only in the ALCS, but against Kansas City in the ALDS, do the same thing, right? There's a reason why this team was the number 1 overall seed in the American League this year, because they just bombed the hell out of the ball. I think the Dodgers, they may be deeper, but I think the Yankees pitching staff may be just a little bit more length, maybe able to give them more innings. I think it's a 6 or 7 game series. In the end, I'm sticking to my original MLB playoff prediction, which was I did have the New York Yankees. I said I think for the first time since 2009, Yankees are going to win the World Series. Obviously, the Dodgers, while they won the World Series in 2020, that was during the COVID-19 pandemic. Everything was played down there at that new Ranger ballpark that just opened. So this is going to be the first time since, I believe, 1988 that the LA Dodger Stadium is going to host a World Series. Obviously, first time since that new Yankee Stadium opened in 2009, the Yankees are going to host the World Series. My prediction here is going to be Yankees in 6 games. I think again, Stanton and Soto having the two primary guys, at the plate doing all the damage for the Yankees. Gleyber Torres has been completely underrated as a leadoff hitter. They have Cole, they have Rodon, obviously the left-hander. You have Clark Schmidt, who can give you starts. So the Yankees are not going to have to go to a bullpen game the way the Dodgers are. I think a lot like Cleveland. Eventually, the Yankees bats will get to the Dodgers. And I think this will be the Aaron Judge series. And you could make a case. Listen, I came on here about a month ago and talked about the greatness of Shohei Ohtani, the 50-50 season, all of that. But as I've talked about all the time, we saw Mike Trout was the greatest player in baseball for about a decade. He has yet to play in a playoff game. It doesn't matter if you're the greatest player in baseball, it matters if you have the better team. I think the Yankees, fully healthy, are the better baseball team. Again, with Judge, Stanton, Soto, those have been the guys specifically in the ALCS. It was really Stanton and Soto. I think Aaron Judge comes through, gets a couple big hits. He is the World Series MVP. Unfortunately for me, because I can't stand these guys. Again, my bias may be coming out here as a Cleveland fan. I could give two rits about this World Series, to be honest with you. Baseball doesn't do the best job marketing their stars. The most stars of the game will be in this series. Obviously, the two big markets, and we'll see how these two teams change during the postseason. So, Dodgers technically got their monkey off their back in 2020. They want to win in front of their hometown fans, but to me, it just does feel like the Yankees' year this year to overcome everything and win the World Series in 2024. Game one tomorrow night on Fox with Joe Davis, John Smoltz. And I would just like to say this: I hope Davis and Smoltz do as good of a job as Brian Anderson, Jeff Van Core, Ron Darling, and the TBS crew did, because during the entire ALCS, I thought that was the best broadcast in national baseball announcing I have ever heard. Fair to both sides, Yankees and Guardians. Brian Anderson's calls of the home runs on both sides of that incredible series. Again, I think the Yankees carried the momentum. Joe Davis is the play-by-play guy right now for the Los Angeles Dodgers, so I know he's going to do a great job, but I know there might be a little bit of a Dodger bias in there. Listen, I think for most baseball fans, especially fans of small markets, we don't want to see this. It's kind of disgusting, but in the end, let's hope it's a great series.
Like that clip from the Bronx Bombers podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Bronx Bombers podcast right here on YouTube.